So, good day everyone. My name is Christine Girovello from BSA 3A. Today, I'm going to discuss my last plate in strength of materials. First, I'm going to discuss the number 1. So first, I'm going to discuss number 1. Draw the shear and moment diagram of the beams. Write all equations. So, we have the figure here. We have 20 kilonewton and 40 kilonewton and 20 kilonewton meter. So let's proceed for the reactions. Summation of MB is equal to 0. RA times 40 minus 20 times 6 minus 40 times 2 minus 20 times 3 multiply by 3 is equal to 0. So for the final answer of our RA is equal to 140 kilonewton. So for summation Fy is equal to 0, 140 plus RB minus 40 minus 20 multiplied by 6 is equal to 0. So the final answer of our RB is equal to 40. So let's proceed for the shear equation. V1 is equal to negative 20. So here, and V2 is equal to V1 times 2 minus 20 is equal to negative 20 times 2 minus 20 is equal to negative 60. So, kaya nakuha tong negative 60. We got negative 60 downward. And for the V3 plus RA is equal to negative 60 plus 140. So, we got 80. So, here the 80 upward. And for the V4 is equal to V3 plus 20 multiplied by 2 is equal to 80 multiplied by 20 times 2 is equal to 40. So we got 40 downward. So here. And for the V5 is equal to V4 minus 40 is equal to 40 minus 40 is equal to 0. So we got 0 downward. And for the last V6 is equal to V5 minus 40 is equal to 0 minus 40 is equal to negative 40. So we got negative 40 downward. So here, negative 40. So let's proceed for the moment equation. For the moment equation is moment 1 is equal to 0. So here, the 0. For moment 2 is equal to 1 over 2 times 2 times negative 20 plus negative 60 is equal to negative 80. So we got negative 80 downward. So here. And for the moment 3 is equal to negative 80 plus 1 over 2 times 2 times 40 plus 80 is equal to 40. So we got 40 upward. So here. And for the moment 4, 40 minus 40 is equal to 0. So we got 0 downward. So here. So let's proceed for the number 2. So for the number 2, we have the figure here. We have 25 kilonewton meter and 20 kilonewton meter. So let's proceed for the reactions. Summation of MA is equal to 0. CY times 5 minus 25 plus 30 times 5 times 2.5 plus 2 is equal to 0. So the final answer of our CY is equal to 180 kilonewton. So next, summation of MC is equal to 0. Negative 25 plus AY times 5 plus 8 plus 30 times 2 times 1 is equal to minus 30 times 3 times 1.5 is equal to 0. So the final answer of our AY is equal to 20 kilonewton. So let's proceed for the shear equation. V1 is equal to AY is equal to 20. So here, the 20. So V2 is equal to 20 minus 30 multiply by 3 is equal to negative 70. So we got negative 70 downward. So here, the 70. And for the V3 is equal to negative 70 plus 130 is equal to 60. So we got 60 upward. And for the V4 is equal to 60 minus 30 times 2 is equal to 0. So we got 0 downward. So here. And for the moment equations, moment 1 is equal to 0. So here, start here. And moment 2 is equal to 0 plus 20 times 1 is equal to 20. And for the, so we got 20 upward. So here. And for the moment 3 is equal to 20 minus 25 is equal to negative 5. So we got negative 5 downward. So here. And for the M4 or moment 4 is equal to negative 5 plus 20 multiplied by 1 is equal to 15. So we got 15 upward here. And for moment 5 is equal to 15 plus 1 over 2 times 2 over 3 multiplied by 20 is equal to 65 over 3 or 21.67. We got 21.67 upward. This is the 21.27. And for the moment 6 is equal to 65 over 3 minus 1 over 2 times 3 minus 3, 2 over 3 times 70 is equal to negative 60. So we got negative 60 downward. And for the moment 7 is equal to negative 60 plus 1 over 2 times 2 multiplied by 6 is equal to 0. So we got 0 upward. Now, let's proceed to the number 3. So now we have the number 3. We are using Euler's formula, compute for the maximum P. So we have the given here. Let's proceed for the solution. Maximum allowable centric load, effective length. L is equal to 2 times 2.4 meter is equal to 4.8 meters. So for the critical load, PER is equal to pi square EI all over by LE raised to 2 is equal to pi square times 200 times 10 raised to 9 PA times 3.33 times 10 raised to negative 6 meter raised to 4 all over by 4.8 meter raised to 2. So the answer is 285.3 kilonewton. So for the allowable load, P allowable is equal to PER all over by Fs is equal to 285.3 kilonewton all over by 2. So the answer of P allowable is equal to 142.7 kilonewton. So the normal stress is equal to P allowable all over by A is equal to 142.7 Newton all over by 2,284 times 10 raised to negative 6 meter raised to 2. So the answer of normal stress is equal to 62.5 MPa. So let's proceed for the number 4. A 2-meter long pin-ended column of square cross-section is to be made of wood. Assuming E is equal to 13 GPa, normal stress allowable is equal to 12 MPa, and using a factor of safety of 2.5 inches, computing Euler's critical load for buckling. Determine the size of the cross-section if the column is to safely support. So, we have A here, A for 100 kilonewton load, so that's the load of letter A. And for letter B is 200 kilonewton load. So let's proceed for the solution. A 100 kilonewton load, so PER is equal to 2.5 multiplied by 100 is equal to 250 kilonewton, and for the L is equal to 2 meter, and for E is equal to 13 GPa. So, in Euler's equation 5.2 and for I, so we have I is equal to PER L raised to 2 all over by pi square. E is equal to 250 times 10 raised to 3 times 2 raised to 2 all over by pi square times 13 times 10 raised to 9. So the answer is 7.794 times 10 raised to negative 6 meter raised to 4. So for I square of side A, we have I is equal to A4 all over by 12. We write A4 all over by 12 is equal to 794 times 10 raised to 6. So, our A4 is equal to 9. So, for our A is equal to 98.3 millimeter, 10 millimeters. So, let's check the value of normal stress in the column. So, for the normal stress is equal to P of all over by A is equal to 100 over 0.1 raised to 2 is equal to 100 MPa. Since normal stress is smaller than allowable stress, A 100 times 100 millimeter cross section is acceptable. So let's proceed for the continuation of number. So for letter B, for the 200 kilonewton load, solving again equations 5.2 for I, but making now PER is equal to 2.5 times 200 is equal to 500 kilonewton. So, PER L, so for I is equal to PER L raised to 2 all over by pi square. E is equal to 500 times 10 raised to 3 times 2 raised to 2 all over by pi square times 13 times 10 raised to 9. So, the answer is 15588 times 10 raised to negative 5 meter raised to 4. So, A raised to 4 all over by 12 is equal to 1.5588 times 10 raised to negative 5. So, A4 is equal to 1.5588 times 10 raised to negative 5 times 12. So, the answer is 1.87056 times 10 raised to negative 4. So, the square root of A4 is equal to square root of 1.87056 times 10 raised to negative 4. So, cancel. So, the answer is A is equal to 0.11694 80301 meter or 116.9480301 millimeter. So, for the A is equal to P all over by normal stress allowable is equal to 200 times 10 raised to 3 all over by 12 times 10 raised to 6 is equal to 16.6667 times 10 raised to negative 3 meter raised to 2. So, the A now is equal to 16.667 times 10 raised to negative 3 meter raised to 2. So, the square root of A raised to 2 is equal to square root of 16.6667 times 10 raised to negative 3 meter raised to 2 or square. So, cancel. So, A is equal to 129 1 meter times 1000 millimeter all over by 1 meter. So the final answer of RA is equal to 129.1 millimeter. So 130 times 130 millimeter cross-sectional is acceptable. So let's proceed for the number 5. An aluminum struts 250 long has a rectangular section 60 millimeter by 30 millimeter. A bolt through each end secures the strut so that it acts as a hing column about an axis perpendicular to the 60 millimeter dimension and as a fixed-ended column about an axis perpendicular to the 30 millimeter dimensions. Determine the safe central load using a factor of safety of 2.5 and E is equal to 70 GPa. So we have the given here. So for the L is equal to 2.50 meter and for E is equal to 70 GPa and for N is equal to 2.5. So required safe central load F. So this is the figure. So let's proceed for the solution. So I is equal to 60 times 30 raised to 3 or cube is all over by 12 times 1000 raised to 4 is equal to 1.35 times 10 raised to negative 7 meter raised to 4. So for the FC is equal to pi square EI all over by LE squared Newton, and for the LE is equal to 1 over 2L for fixed end, and for the F is equal to pi raised to 2 70 times 10 raised to 9 times 1.35 times 10 raised to negative 7 all over by 1 over 2 times 2.50 raised to 2 times 2.5 is equal to 223,876.5464797 all over by 1,000. So the final answer of F is equal to 23.876 kilonewton or 23.877 kilonewton. So for the last number is the number 6. A square aluminum bar is to support a load of 65 kilonewton. A length of 450 meter assumes pinned ends. Determine the length of each sides of E equals 70 GPa. So we have the given here. For the SC is 65 kilonewton and for L is 4.50 meter and for E is 70 GPa. So this is the figure. So let's proceed for the solution. I is equal to BH raised to cube all over by 3 is equal to B times B raised to cube all over by 12 is equal to B raised to 4 all over by 12. FC is equal to pi square EI all over by LE squared. So 65 times 10 raised to 3 is equal to pi square 70 times 10 raised to 9 times B raised to 4 all over by 12 all over by 4.50 raised to 2. So 65 times 10 raised to cube times 4.50 raised to 2 is equal to pi square 70 times 10 raised to 4 times B raised to 4 all over by 12. So, 13, 1316250 all over by pi square times 70 times 10 raised to 9 is equal to pi square times 70 times 10 raised to 9 times b raised to 4 all over by 12 all over by pi times 70 times 10 raised to 9. So, cancel. So, the answer is 1.905200114 times 10 raised to negative 6 is equal to b raised to 4 all over by 12. So, for b raised to 4 is equal to 1.905200114 times 10 raised to 12 multiplied by 12. So, the answer of b raised to 4 is equal to 2.2862413 times 10 raised to negative 5. So, the square root of b raised to 4 is equal to square root of 2.286240137 times 10 raised to negative 5. So, cancel. So, 0.069, or the answer is 0.069 or 0.07 times 1000. So, the final answer of our B is 70 millimeter. So, that's it. So, thank you everyone. Thank you. God bless us.